Hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome to the first, and hopefully first of many, Conclave of Har video. So, I don't have a lavish studio, I only have a flat full of spiders, but we're going to try this in a video because it's just taken too long for me to edit all the photos together into the videos that I've been doing before, and it actually got to the stage where what we were talking about was no longer relevant by the time I'd got the video done. So we're going to give this a go and see how it goes from here, and if this starts working I might start forking out for some more expensive equipment, but for now we'll see how it goes. So it's been far too long since we've done this. We've got a lot to discuss.
Sort of do it every time we talk about stuff, but we're not recording it.
No, well that's it. I mean, you know, I mean as in passing it to the greater public. So first up, something that I think GW have 100% nailed it with, and everybody's happy. I can't think of anybody who's not happy about this.
No, I can't. Go on, you say it.
Knights.
Knights, Imperial Knights. You could tell it was coming.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But the Wraith Knight doesn't exactly correspond to any sort of previous Eldar Knight model from Epic. It's still an awesome kit, and you could build a Bright Stallion if you had a couple of them. Yeah,
and people were saying quite a long time ago that Knights are coming, and there was a fair amount of naysaying, I suppose, with people.
Well, with any sort of kit, if you're in the know, you know it's coming quite a long time in advance, because the planning stage is a long time from concept to design.
Well, as we've seen, just looking at Jess Goodwin's sketchbook there was a very early condensative design, wasn't there?
Sketchbook, not sure how cool that comes out, but yeah.
I'll put a picture of that up so you can see it, but we were looking through it a minute ago, and there was actually a very old condensative sort of the design in there is there.
Didn't have the face, didn't have the helmet.
No, but the shape,
the body shape was there.
It looked like an updated version of the the old Rogue Trader one. So
that's pre-2001. So that's how long Forge World waited till they whipped that design off. So
and the
Scorpion,
early Centurions, they're in there as well.
And the same with the Scorpion and the Phantom Titan. I'm not sure how far back those designs go, but Forge World basically saw Jez Goodwin's text and thought, we'll have that.
Yeah.
Without asking Jez Goodwin first, initially, but now I think they ask his permission.
I think also the longer the time went on and Forge World didn't make the Knights, it became obvious that GW were going to do it.
And I think as a plastic kit, this is quite an impressive achievement.
There's a lot of depth to it.
Yes, I mean, you look at the Gargant is the only comparable plastic kit.
That's quite a long time ago.
Yeah, but it's essentially a box.
Yeah, it is. It's flat panels.
Big box, like the Monolith or the Tesseract Vault.
Yep.
Big box with bits stuck on. Whereas this is a proper model.
I mean, it's got layers. It's got paneling bolted on it. It looks three-dimensional. I mean,
so from a design point of view, it's very impressive from the beginning.
Yeah.
But as a model, and apparently it's same cost as the corn thing that no one likes that I like.
Yeah, I'd guess it's going to be about the 90 quid mark.
It's a lot of money, but don't mind paying it for something like that, because you think of how much a Titan costs, and this is like your own.
There's 3 different builds, so there's going to be a lot of weapons in there. You can magnetise it. I mean, what was it? I didn't see Crusader, Paladin and Errant.
Paladin and Errant, I thought it was just 2. I don't know.
I
think it's only got the one close combat weapon, and the other versions had different close combat weapons.
Maybe
one of them
just
had
2.
a lance.
I thought I'd seen 3, but no, it could be 2. But yeah, it looks really good. Everybody's really happy about it. Genuinely,
I like that it harkens back to old style design.
Rounded plates.
You've got your
fantastic.
They're really pushing the medieval knight imagery on this, as well as mixing in the Mechanicus stuff, because this is one of the first things that has got a dedicated looking Mechanicus look, because you've got I think it's the Errant's head.
It's got the skull head, hasn't it? Yeah.
Skull head, the cog head. That looks really good.
Really looking forward to that.
The only problem with it is there is a Titan essentially in a 40k game, in an era where you can just play mini apocalypse and everything.
The thing I've spotted is it's got D weapons.
Yeah, everyone's going to want one. Every Space Marine player we know will probably want one.
Well, this I think adds a little bit of credence to the rumour that maybe, and it is just a rumour at this point, so we don't know anything, that maybe the core rules are going to get an update.
Yes, but who wants to have to worry about facing a Titan and a bunch of D weapons? I mean, if I took my Scorpion to every regular 40k game, it would be a pushover.
No, but this is just the way that 40k is going. It is. I mean, I went to a game down the down the gaming club just at the school down the road. You know, Toy Soldiers. Said hi to the guys down there, and I don't think I saw any game where there wasn't a large scale model being used. And these were, this is just games that's 40k.
Yeah. I mean, we get questions.
Wraith Knights, Riptides.
At work, if we're doing a 40k event now, people are saying, which of these are we using? Are we using Stronghold Assault? Are we using Escalation? Are we using this, that, and the other? Yeah. And it's just down to saying. And well, we're not doing this, but we're doing this, so that people know in advance not to show up with a massive model.
Well, no, yeah, but I mean, I think it all needs to be adapted into core rules at this point.
Yeah,
40k it's gone that way. It's no longer 40k is no longer a few squads, a few tanks, fight. It's now mass warfare type thing.
But I think good manners would be to agree with someone ahead of time whether you're going to use those, and if they don't want to, then don't. But on the other hand, if you don't want to play games with the big models, you still need to play at least one with someone who really wants to play with the new thing that they've made. But you need to know in advance. Well,
you can do that, can't you? You can always, you can play small-ish games, and then you can play, the bigger games if you want to. I've not got involved in these massive games yet, but
I like to play because I play down at Wayland. Get some guys from Facebook. They all come down. We play massive. Last one I played was more than 10,000 points aside.
Yeah. And that had Titans in it, didn't it?
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it had like 2 Reavers, 2 Warhounds, and then tons of super heavy tanks. That was fun, but we knew everyone was going there for just a big, massive battle.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, these knights are taking in units of 3 to 6.
Yeah, you can.
At nearly £100 a pop, you could easily have a grand's worth of plastic on the table. That's kind of a scary thought in some ways.
Yeah, but where are we going now? What's the next step? If we've done Imperium, we've got Orcs, we've got Eldar.
2-minute Bio Titan?
Maybe a 2-minute Bio Titan, because the Bio Titan the Forge World does is only got certain weapon options.
Yeah.
And it used to be that the Hero Duel was the other Bio Titan, but that's now like
not just that. The Bio Titan in resin is frankly a nightmare. Yeah, those long spindly legs.
I see an awful lot of people just breaking the legs off, sticking a massive pin in there, and
then just putting it back on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think the body is too heavy for the legs really to sustain, and that's a shame because it's such a nice model. But in plastic,
I think it would work really well.
The body would be hollow. It wouldn't be one solid bit of material.
Well, Chaos also have got something. They need something really large, so maybe you might get.
Yeah, I mean the Lord of Skulls. If you look at Lord of Skulls, it has a couple of sprues which are the same sprues. Yeah. And the Tesseract Bolt. This is how they did the Lord of Skulls and the Tesseract Bolt. They created models where they could produce
the same sprues multiple times.
Multiple times, and then you would have one sprue which had all the unique stuff on it. Whereas the Knights, you can't do that with the Knights. No. Until we see the actual kits.
Well, you could have an armature, and then you have the bits
until we
that
see the actual proper plastics. Because the Wraith Knight is 2 very large sprues.
Yes.
So the Knight will be at least 2 very large sprues, and more than likely 3.
Yeah. I think 3 sprues, to be honest.
Because it is more expensive than the Wraith Knight, so I would say 3 sprues probably.
And it's a lot bulkier as well. So
and I reckon that the common parts, the legs, the body, will be on 2 of the sprues, and then the interchangeable parts, the weapons, and
all the weapons and the panelling, and
so that opens up the Forge World being able to adapt it, because they would just say, we want to produce a complete kit. Well, here's the 2 sprues that make the bits that you will definitely need. Just do your Forge World bits for the heads and the weapons, and some bits you want to stick onto the carapace.
And also,
Rubble Claws, an old epic thing for feet.
Don't forget that Forge World is rumoured to be coming back into Games Workshops.
Yes, that is a rumour.
Into the stores,
happens,
so
we don't know what that relationship will entail.
You might see quite a lot of Forge World add-ons for plastic stuff.
And then maybe Forge World will take over Finecast production, because it's now pretty much obvious that Finecast is gone.
Yeah, it's dead.
Because if you look at the Dwarf releases that we've had recently, no Finecast.
Hobbit,
all characters plastic.
Hobbit, all plastic.
Yeah, all plastic. No, Hobbit. It's got resin characters.
Is it? I thought all the new I thought they were pretty bad.
Legolas and Toriel were definitely plastic, but the other characters, like
the Lake Town stuff.
Yeah,
Marshall Lake Town.
The captains for the plastic units that come out, they were Finecast.
So, that must be his very last gasp then.
Yeah. Well, I imagine the Hobbit stuff was done way in advance of the film coming out, and probably some of it was done for the year before, because they at the last minute split everything, didn't they?
It was like the crazy thing about the Hobbit is you're not going to have Smaug.
No, I think it's pretty obvious
it's
now.
Too big.
Smaug is not coming out.
It's too big.
It's not coming out this year, but you have to have a Smaug. You have to have a Smaug model. There's no point in doing the Hobbit line if your main bad guy is not going to be represented.
I don't know how they can do it.
Maybe.
Smaug.
No. Maybe there'll be a bit in the next film where he falls down a hole and you just have his head sticking out.
So like the barrels for the dwarfs, yeah?
Yeah.
Just so like like head sticking out of one and the tail sticking out of another.
You can have that idea, Games Workshop. I don't mind. Take that one.
Because the way I've done Smaug, he's just too. You couldn't do a kit of him. He's just massive. But
you can do him. You can do him to scale.
Getting back to the knights, I think previously people have been saying the alternative is the is it Dreamforge, the Dreamforge Leviathan.
The Dreamforge Leviathan, and I've had it. I've had the Dreamforge Leviathan kit. It's a very nice kit. It for some reason it comes with a bunch of screws. So I think if you didn't glue it to the base, you could pose it.
Yeah. That is one thing about the knights. I don't think they're going to be very poseable. They look to be very...
No. Well, the Dreamforge kit it shares some aspects with like a kit like the knight would be, and it shares some aspects with a kit like a Gundam kit.
Yeah.
So it's very versatile. Plus, it comes with a lot of arm options you can buy separately if you want.
It does, but...
And there's a Chaos-y version.
The problem I have with the Dreamforge Leviathan, I did look at comparisons of the two the other day, is it looks like a small model. It's been scaled up and then lost a load of detail in the process.
You can actually get a smaller version.
You can get a smaller 15mm version. Yeah.
But no, I've looked at it.
It's a nice kit.
It's got a lot of flat bits, but then if you're going to repurpose it for 40k, then all that flat panelling is perfect for you to start whacking on your
scroll work
your 40k
and designs,
detailing.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that if you wanted to add a bit of variety to whatever forge you're using, the Dreamforge one is a good one to get.
Does look nice
because it comes with. It's got the very fluted exhaust pipes on the main, but you can get a more dreadnought style. For it. So
it comes with like all the different weapons and stuff as well.
Yeah, and of course, if you're a decent enough modeler, then you can change it.
But the knights, something else. Blown away. Looks at the picture.
Now we've got the knights. It opens up pretty much anything. I know people keep saying, "Oh, we want a plastic Thunderhawk," but if you look at how big the forge of Thunderhawk is, you have to remember that you've got to get all the parts onto the size of sprue that Games Workshop can actually produce.
Yeah.
And if you've actually seen one of the big plastic machines,
the good thing about the Thunderhawk is they could do similar to what they did with the Lord of Skulls. I mean, you've got two panels; they're exactly the same,
but reversed.
Reversed,
left and right, top and bottom.
Yeah, but
different.
All you have to do is just do the detailing on both sides. And
if they're gonna it would be up for whoever the engineers.
But the thing about the Thunderhawk is, you look at these knights that are coming out, they're like £90, and Lord of Skulls £90. I mean, Thunderhawk, they couldn't make it affordable.
You'd pay £150 for the plastic Thunderhawk.
I would, but I don't think you could get it out for £150.
No, but I think the main problem with the producing a plastic Thunderhawk is one, the maximum size of sprue that Games Workshop can actually make without having to invest loads of money in another machine.
Another machine,
and how big the pieces can be.
The sprue's about the size of that laptop, would you say?
Yeah, and then how big...
Thunderhawk's longer, isn't it?
How big can the pieces be before they become impractical? So will they warp? Will they, if you hold it, will it just come apart?
I mean, you're looking at it being like,
one.
3 times the size of a Storm Raven, roughly?
At least.
So, yeah. One for the future, maybe. But yeah, Knights, awesome. Everybody's happy. Everybody wants them.
Yeah. And if you notice, this is out of the 4 White Dwarf Weeklies, so that's 1 month. You've had 3 of a main army release, and then 1 of something that is completely unrelated to anything else.
Yes, really nice to see.
If this pattern continues forward, then that'd be great, because at the minute we used to have, didn't we? We used to have to begin with, everybody got a little bit of something.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, every couple of months you got a little bit of something. Yeah.
Then they went to initial release, second release 9 months later.
Yeah.
And now we've gone back to that everybody gets everything in 1 month when their book comes out, and that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
So they got rid of waves, and now they're just doing it all. And it worked with the Dark Elder, and they've done it with some other armies. It's like Necrons, for example, everything all at once, because they really needed it.
Yeah, but now everybody gets a set amount.
Yeah, and I like that. Yeah, like 4 kits, and then the last month something different. And they're going to make so much money out of the Knights.
Eldar needs plastic aspects. We want our plastic jet bikes. You can't show us plastic jet bike mock-ups and then not
6-7 years ago now.
Yeah, so plastic aspects, plastic jet bikes.
Yep. Avatar.
I can't see a plastic avatar being worthwhile unless they're going
to do demon prints.
Yeah, but they don't do great demons yet.
No,
plastic great demons.
Plastic great demons, definitely. Yeah.
Chaos kits need revamping because they're quite old.
Yes. Well,
and then you've got
Chaos, just the main line of plastics.
I can't understand why. Well, cost obviously, but why we didn't get a plastic obliterators / molders. Those models are horrible.
They're horrific.
They're horrific. I mean, the high tech models that you can buy are good enough boxes, but only because they're not as bad as the games.
Actually, in all honesty, probably the best bet for if you want to do a Obliterate is probably to get Centurions and rip those apart. And
I think that's the way forward.
Centurions and Spawn or something like that. But yeah,
there are a lot of gaps.
Plastics just go.
Orc buggies.
Yeah. Well, what about the War Track?
War Tracks and buggies could be one kit.
Yeah.
I don't see why I couldn't do that. So yeah, new ones of those, please. That'd be good. But it'll help because it'll drive sales of the other armies because they get new releases outside of their.
I think the way to do it is put Eldar in the next box.
No, I can't see that happening.
Why not?
I know Eldar haven't really had a starter box, but
because they're like putting bikes and things in the starter box. Stick the Eldar in the starter box.
Well, early rumours are that next starter box is going to be an evolved version of the last one, so more Space Marines, more Chaos Space Marines.
But at the same time, I've heard it'll also be Orcs and Blood Angels because that's what's going to be released around then. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
No Eldar.
No Eldar. You have to enjoy your 5 for £20 Die Avengers and
I won't.
Finecaster.
I've got plenty of Die Avengers and
Finecaster. Aspect Warriors. Right, next up,
Dwarves.
Well, you completely missed Warhammer Weekly and Warhammer Visions.
Well, we can meld it together. But let's do White Dwarf first then.
Yeah, White Dwarf got relaunched weekly. I have got a review up on the Conclave. Now, originally you weren't very impressed. I remember you being very unimpressed.
I'm still not very impressed. But then the White Dwarf we had before wasn't brilliant anyway.
No, it wasn't.
I did like when White Dwarf changed to the new format because I was hoping that they were just going to evolve it as it went along, but it didn't. It was the same magazine every single week.
Yeah, they just I thought I'd give it a year just to see if they'd sort it out, and the problem is they turned Grumbrindle into like a ditzy blonde. It was all glamour and look, and no content.
You couldn't read the new model descriptions without cringing.
Yeah,
because they were just so.
And the articles were just, they were just horrible veiled adverts for whatever was out. So
and even the stuff that Jeremy, VTOC, who I've got a lot of time for, they weren't very.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say the only thing we liked out of that magazine was Blanchitsu.
Yeah, but again, Blanchitsu was like Marge Simpson wearing that pink dress in that episode where she got that dress. Just redressed the same models every week and slightly different.
But it was there's some really nice conversions in there, and it's also a reminder that 40k is grimdark because
it would be
sometimes does forget.
If there was some sort of game that allowed you to play these small skirmish battles rather than just redress it 40k 6th edition, which although I like 6th edition, it isn't suited to
skirmish games. No, not at all.
So if you're going to produce something like that and there's interest in it, because there must be interest in it because you keep producing it every month.
They're just constantly teasing us.
Why can't you, even if you just put the rules up on White Dwarf Online, which has become really bad now, it is every single day. It used to be pictures of other people's models. Now it is pretty much every week. This is one of the releases that's coming out this week. Here's a lot of other Dwarf releases. Why don't you go buy them? Same thing the following day. Same thing the following day.
I haven't really looked at White Dwarf Online, to be honest.
No, White Dwarf Online is really done. It's just gone. It's pretty much buy stuff now.
The new White Dwarf, it's still got the new releases at the start of it and everything, and obviously they are being broken down. But there's something about the new White Dwarf I really like.
The new White Dwarf Weekly.
The last couple of pages in particular, it's up there. You've got Ask Ron Brindle, you've got Bit of the Week, you've got Reader's Model of the Week, all that kind of stuff. That's really good. That's old school. I like that.
The only problem I have with it is it's very truncated.
1 second, this is all getting filmed anyway. It doesn't matter. Right. Try and box not the camera over as I go.
Yeah, I think it's a bit truncated. There's a lot of good stuff in there, but then
there's not enough. It's so far no battle reports. And
£2.40.
Yeah, it's overpriced.
It is overpriced.
But then a lot of Games Workshop stuff is premium. But I mean, just look at this. This is fantastic. This is something I just didn't think I'd ever see again in a White Dwarf. I'll take a little photo of it so you can see it. Look at that. I've picked up the wrong one. Hang on. We'll edit this out. Damn it. Right, anyway. As I was saying, I didn't think I'd ever see this again. Number 2. Yeah, I haven't picked up number 3 yet. I'll get it tomorrow. There you go. Look at that. Ask on Brindle. And look at the way he's answered the question.
Yeah.
In character. That's awesome. I really did. My biggest fear was because obviously the cover changed and, there was no mention of Gordon Brindle anymore. I really did think he was gone. And without getting too sentimental about it, since...
I think that is more... It's not necessarily a White Dwarf problem. It's a problem that a lot of contemporary magazines have. and that they're very interested in coming across as professional.
Yeah, you can't really have a cartoon mascot or anything like that.
You can't have fun, because this was back when UK comics were UK produced comics. You'd have a lot of stuff like that in there. You'd have a lot of silly things, but silliness is now being pushed right out of White Dwarf.
Well, it's not so much a kids thing anymore. That's why.
Well, no, it wasn't so much a kids thing. No, it's just.
Back in the day, adults didn't read comics all that much. Now they do.
No, but they read White Dwarf. And White Dwarf had a lot of stuff like that.
But White
Dwarf, it's very much the 2000 AD.
Yeah, the thing is, if you read the old White Dwarfs as well, they're not slick. And this is what happened with the new White Dwarf. It did get very slick, but it lost all the content. And now it's just got a little bit of it back, and I quite like that. It's not, it's a long way from being perfect.
Oscar and Brindle could have 2-page spread in the old White Dwarf, but it didn't.
No, but I'm happy with that. That's just a little sign for me that they've not forgotten about him. It's a little touch to the old school. You've got like bit of the week, got reading model of the week. You've got this.
Weapon
I love this. Yeah,
this could be an entire article on its own.
Yeah, but it's good. I'd rather we got that than nothing.
I think maybe £2.40.
Yeah, it's a bit too much. For and bear in mind, like
half of it is
still the new releases.
Yeah,
but no, those little bits are what I like, and
so far the rules that have appeared in the book, the magazine, are the same rules that will appear in the army book.
They are.
I've seen the army.
You've seen the army book. These are the same. Yes. All this is doing is essentially giving somebody a week to play with the new rules before they get a chance to. Right. Okay. I did want to.
It's because
that
the book is now not released first thing.
No. It's
so if you release a model and it is a specific model, people need the rules to be able to play with it.
Yeah.
However, the knights, as far as we know, there are no data slates. There are no codexes coming out. So
there'll be something.
The rules that are in White Dwarf are the rules, period, at the minute.
There'll be something. I don't know if they'll be rolled in. Maybe it'll be Mechanicus Codex. No, we can dream.
Yeah, but I reckon a data slate would be the easiest way for them to do it.
And they do like their digital stuff, so I'm sure that will happen. Anyway, so yeah, that's White Dwarf Weekly.
White Dwarf Visions.
Now Warhammer Visions.
Warhammer Visions.
Not so keen on this, if I'm being honest.
I'm not surprised White Dwarf doesn't want its name attached to this book.
It reads like a catalogue. My reviews on the website. There will be a link to that in the video.
There used to be a time when Games Workshop would produce hardback books which were full of pictures of Golden Demon winners. Yeah. And that was a quality product.
Do you remember the collector's guides? Is that what you're sort of leaning towards?
No, I'm thinking I'm going further back, much further back than that.
Okay.
Proper hardback books. And they were all just, this is from late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Just full of artwork of Golden Demon, because at that time, that was the best way to get proper, good quality photos.
Okay, yeah.
To people. White Dwarf was mostly black and white.
Yes.
And then we used to get the little collector's magazines that came with White Dwarf.
Yeah.
And this
posters and
feels a bit like that, but it's with contemporary models. And the problem is, the heavy metal stuff is just what we've seen before. It's the same pictures that were in the book. It's the same pictures that were in the last issue of White Dwarf, taken from slightly different angles. You said you don't like quality.
The studio shot stuff's okay, but they've got a couple of Golden Demon ones. And the thing is, it's not the quality I'm massively bothered about. It just seems lazy. You could get a lot of this book, or you can make a lot of this book, by just going on Google, doing an image search. But it's just some of the cropping and stuff like that. I mean, you can see the spore mines right there. But it's just, lazy cropping and some rotated needlessly. It's just...
I mean, if you were going to do heavy metal models and you were going to photograph them, then you need to do what Forge World does and Photoshop them into an actual battle scene.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just...
But you've got all these...
And the thing is, a lot of it's the same photo, but just rotated.
Yes.
Take a photo, move it, take another, that'll do.
And there's no information in these magazines.
It's good if you want to learn French or German.
They're not telling you how to reproduce the models that you see here.
And even the really, really sad thing is, like, all right, this is the GW stuff, so fair enough. But even when we get to the Army of the Month, and there's some lovely conversions in here, there's no input from the people who made it at all. And you at least got that in the old White Dwarf, didn't you? The Army of the Month at least had input from the people who did it.
I like the Forge World section because they actually paint up the Forge World models and show them off.
Yep,
which you don't get on the Forge World website, unfortunately.
But this is basically, if you get a catalogue and it's a product, and you get a little caption telling you what that product is, that's essentially what this is, but it's in 3 languages. And it's just a waste. And that is out of focus, can we say.
There are some beautiful models from other people in here.
Yep, there's some really nice... look at that.
That's a lovely conversion. But I want to
hear... Really nice.
I want to hear from the people who did.
Yeah.
I don't want Games Workshop telling us about the people who made it and what those people did to make it. I want to hear their own words, what they've done, why they did it, and how they did it. But that doesn't give
absolutely no. It's just, you know,
and half the magazine isn't these people. Half the magazine is stuff you've seen before. If the entire magazine, even if we just had half of that photo content, if we had that half of the magazine's worth of photo content and the other half was the articles from those people, I would be happy to buy that each month.
I don't know if you glossed over this, but you might not have seen this. There's a battle report in here.
Yes, the pictures only battle report. Yeah, picture of the armies. Okay.
Random pictures of stuff going on.
Can't tell what's going on.
And then
I mean, what's that? That's a picture of the battle.
Yeah.
In a very dark room.
Yeah, and then this just gets me. Cast Space Victory! Completely arbitrary. Like, yeah? Okay, how?
You don't
what
know
happened? Who did what? You know, I mean...
What are these models armed with, for a
yeah,
start?
it's terrible. It's awful. It's the most stupid, ridiculous...
Kit bash.
Shit thing I've seen, actually. It's just awful. I mean, no, Kit bash is good. I like that. That's nice.
They actually show you the model before it was painted.
Yeah.
They don't give you too much... They're not giving too much away.
You couldn't replicate it because they don't tell you what bits are used.
Well,
but if you looked at it, you could probably work it out eventually.
Yeah.
But you do get the unpainted, you get the in progress, and that's quite nice. More of that would be nice. Blanchitsu, again, as you say, same things you always say.
It's not
that's a lovely conversion, though. Look at that. But this is Jacob Nielsen. Jacob Nielsen might not be ex-heavy metal, but he certainly won some Golden Demons in his time.
He's won more than a few Golden Demons. I remember his Eldar stuff that he won.
Exactly, yeah.
Back in second edition days.
You know, nice conversion of the...
Again, redress the same model again and again.
Yeah, but that's just... That model just... You know, it's the...
it's a nice model. But
Nurgle, dude. I'll tell you what, I saw that. I need to be tagging it, actually. That made into an Empire Reikland captain.
Mm.
It looks amazing.
That would need an awful lot of
It's amazing. I'll show you a bit later.
But there's a limited scope for people using those models if they don't collect an Imperial army.
No.
Really, you want a nice skirmish game.
But it's the other side of it, isn't it? You know, you've gone from your massive armies, which is unfortunately what this entire book is. It's just pictures and pictures of armies and Tyranids. And the thing about Tyranids, with all the problem with Tyranids, there's no offence here, but they all look the same.
They do.
They all look exactly the same. So it's just red and black.
Need to do a proper review of this Gothic and the Eldritch book, because in here there are some Tyranid designs that Jez Goodwin have done, which are recognisably Tyranids, but they're different.
Yeah, yeah.
Think of how the Lictor looks different from a Tyranid warrior. These things look different again from Tyranids altogether. So good. But the Tyranid range at the minute is rather bland.
It's all getting very, very similar.
And if you look at... there's a lot of good Tyranid converters on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
They've made some really nice Tyranid conversions that manage to look like Tyranids, but don't all look like big gaunts.
So, yeah, I mean, at the moment, I subscribe to White Dwarf, so I get this anyway, and for the price I'm paying, I'll probably carry on getting it on the hope that, again, it might make it something worthwhile. What I would like to see, Games Workshop, on the unlikely event that you are listening, which I'm sure you're not, is highly detailed shots of beautifully painted miniatures, not just endless battle scene after battle scene after battle scene. It just, you just look, you've got that, and then you've got another one.
Make this a painter's magazine.
Yeah, I want
heavy metal paint guides.
Yeah.
I want other people giving us tips and tricks to use.
You know, you got this.
Teach us how to use an airbrush.
And rather than having this, and rather than saying, look, these are Hive Guard, they've got no eyes because they use the eyes in their weapons, which is probably exactly the same information in the army book.
Yeah.
Why don't you say, we used a mottling effect to get this colour here.
They didn't.
Of course they didn't, but whatever.
That'd been nice.
And just...
In each codex at the minute, there is one, maybe two models which show a really good
that's the other thing, is at the moment, unfortunately, paint jobs are suffering. They're not...
It's all about getting the models churned out.
Yeah, and in Tyranids in particular, unfortunately, as we've already said, they do look very similar, but it's not... White Dwarf Weekly I really like. It's not perfect, but it's a bit of a miss.
I'm not bothered about picking it up. I'll read your copy until you stop buying it.
Well, it's on subscription, so it costs me like £3 a month, which I'll just about pay because there's enough inspiration in some nice conversions and £3 a month. You can flip through it, but there's nothing there. It's all the worst bits of White Dwarf essentially taken out
and then bumped up in price.
Yeah, it's like £8 a month or something. Was it? I can't remember.
No, it's $5.40, I think.
No, it's a lot more than £5.40, mate. Can't remember exactly how much it is. There's no price on it actually. Hasn't there got to be a price on it?
Well, no, they can't put the price up easily if they actually print it on the books. Doesn't matter.
No, it's about £7 anyway. Yes, so that's the new publications out of the way. What's next? Yes, the new Dwarfs. Yeah.
New dwarves have done very well.
Very good.
Dwarves are a range that need a lot of help. The models are nice. They're by no means the sort of models that you would want. So they're very front back glued together.
Yeah.
One pose. But in Warhammer, you need a lot of that.
You do, yeah.
Unfortunately,
I like a lot of the New Dwarf stuff actually. I'm not too keen on the gyrocopter, but everything else. I like the bomber, but then the gyrocopter's just the bomber with the front half.
Very, very small.
Is it?
Yes, it comes in 1.5 sprues. So the main big sprue is the gyrocopter, and the extra half sprue is the gyro bomber bits.
Oh really?
And it's like yay big. You can't. That's useless. Now you can really tell the size. It is small. If you get to see one in the store, you'll see what I mean. Yeah. But it's a tiny, tiny little model. But it's £28.
Yeah, well, so 10 of the New Dwarf. These are dwarfs. They're 30 quid.
There are some deals on my Games Workshop's website at the minute where you get 3 gyrocopters and a gyro bomber. I don't think that's 4 gyrocopter boxes. I think that's 3 sprues for the gyrocopter and then 1 whole model for the gyro bomber.
Oh, that's a bit sneaky.
That's what you're paying for.
Which is a shame because they have been doing lots of Save and May deals, and there is one for dwarfs as well.
I don't think since Christmas they're doing
Battle Line.
No, the Battle Line is an actual box. That's an actual product.
I think so. He said it saves you about 30 quid.
That may be, but that's because they're replacing the battalions and the battle force.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff on the website are just one-click deals. They don't really save you any money. But if that's the case, because I don't know anyone who's actually bought one, I reckon they give you the actual gyrocopters without the gyro bomber add-ons, and that's where you're saving money if you save any.
Might be, yeah. I haven't actually considered that.
Until someone confirms it, we don't.
No, I mean, I like the dwarfs. Unfortunately, it doesn't fix the problem with Warhammer, which is just too expensive.
Yes, but what we've got is a massive load of those plastic characters.
Yes.
So we've got Belagar, we've got the Dwarf Slayer.
Yep.
We've got Grim Berlickson.
And you've got the Rune Lord.
So that's 4, isn't
4 plastic characters.
So everyone who came out, 4 plastic characters in a month. That's a lot of plastic characters in a month, and they're good models.
They are very nice.
Especially the Rune Lord.
The Rune Lord's awesome. You've got one who's got that holding a rune up, hasn't he? And you've got the other one who's got a hammer and a book.
And it's still all on that small sprue that goes in a clam pack. They are, from an engineering point of view, they're really good. Games Workshop is really good at cramming a lot of stuff onto the sprue. With their bigger kits, they miss the trick a little bit because it does space out. But to get the characters, I said when the characters come out, they were one of the best things that Games Workshop have ever done, and I still believe that's true. So if we get more plastic,
the dynamism and everything, it made Finecast completely redundant. I mean, the detail's not quite there; it's very nearly there.
Well, but when Finecast came out, we were told we were going to get models that could not be done in any other medium,
and I never saw it.
No, you look at Shadowblade and the Dwarf Slayer. You could not do that in Finecast because it would break.
And you can do it in metal.
You couldn't do it in metal because it would be too heavy. So plastic is the way forward. I don't think resin is redundant as a material. Metal probably is. I like metal, but metal is heavy.
Yeah, I think metal's done. It chips. It's heavy.
Yeah, I mean metal is
a lot of the kits you couldn't make in metal these days.
Yeah, I think metal's a go-to material for a lot of companies, but I think they really need to. I mean, Privateer Press, the majority of their catalogue is still metal. They need to switch over to resin. They really need to do some proper plastic rather than the rest.
They do. I hate Restic. I hate it. It's they just
the only reason
plastic.
Restic is the cost is really, really cheap.
Yeah.
But the problem is the end product can feel cheap.
Yes. Yeah.
A lot of Mantic stuff.
For me, it's just working with it. And also all this Edition War stuff that turned up, which I've still not really done anything with. That was all Restic and at that scale as well. Yeah. Like I mean, Jax is one thing, but tiny little thing.
Yeah, Jack's all right, but then I had a Sorsha, and it was really difficult to get the detail.
Yeah, without cutting away the face and stuff like that.
So Restic is, I'd get rid of Restic. Metal, I think, is done. For drop-on parts for some resin miniatures, it's still useful. Yeah. And Privateer Press does that a lot with their.
So does Spartan. A lot of little metal bits.
No, Spartan are moving away from it now.
Oh, really?
When we talk
I've actually lost loads of types of my battleship and it moved. I'm really annoyed about it.
When we talk
can you get spares?
You can. When we talk about Firestorm Armada in a little bit, we'll go a bit more into that. But yes.
Yes, we're going to talk about Tyrannies very quickly because they came out. They were like,
we said we thought they were very
all the same.
Nothing particular. Like that the Exocrine and the Haruspex got some love, but meh.
I hate the fact the Exocrine and the Haruspex are smaller than the Turvagon, more expensive.
Yeah,
you notice that?
Yeah,
Turvagon and Tyrannifex, big kits, 36 quid. Haruspex and Exocrine, considerably smaller, 45 quid. Okay.
somebody didn't do a price adjustment at the time.
Well, that's the thing, is that's what's going to happen. All the things like, the big spider, your Ragnarok and all that kind of, they're going to start getting more expensive.
I'm glad I've got one of those.
I might get one, really should. So yes, that was the tunes. They came out. There was some stuff. It was a bit underwhelming, if I'm being honest.
So let's move away from Games Workshop now. Let's talk about Firestorm Armada. Firestorm Armada's just released the 2nd edition. It's got a nice glossy new rulebook.
Hardback.
Yes, which is the best rulebook I've ever read for a Spartan game. Because if you look,
what you mean? It actually makes sense.
It actually makes sense. You've got the Dystopian Wars book, the most recent one, which is the improved version, and that still reads like all over the place.
Yeah,
this one, so clear and easy to understand.
Cool.
So they've heard what people were saying about it. They've learnt their lessons, and they've created a book which is well laid out. The game itself is Dystopian Wars in space, as you'd expect it to be.
Yep.
Really easy to if you play Dystopian Wars, you'll get.
But the tiny markers works a lot better because you don't have
loads
of
those
tokens.
of you who play Dystopian Wars know what we're talking about. Those of you who don't, there is you have to represent small flyers, whether it be in an atmosphere or out in space. The way that it worked previously was very complicated. It's been much more simplified and easier to understand, partly by restricting what they can do within a certain distance of the ship that's the carrier. So you can only have them as part of a carrier. You can't have an independent squad out on its own doing its own thing.
No.
But it works. It works. And the models are being completely resculpted. They're
really nice.
Starting with 3 of each side. So you've got the good guys, which are the Kurak Alliance, which involves Terra. Then you've got the Breakaway faction, which is the Xenian League. 3 of each race from each of those sides has been given completely resculpted fleets. And every month there's a couple of releases. I think they've already had patrol fleets, which if you've seen my unboxing, you'll see what I think of them. They're really good.
Link in the description.
Yeah. They've had a cruiser group come out. This coming up soon will be the fleet manuals, which will be a hardback book, although you can download the rules from Spartan's website. And the battle cruiser groups, which is a box of 2 ships. Because at the minute what Spartan's trying to do is reduce its catalogue down. So at the minute you could buy boxes of things. Their starter boxes are always really good, but then you could get all the individual models as blisters.
Whereas now you're going to buy collections.
Yeah, they're doing away with the blisters altogether, and you now buy the models in themed boxes, which is fine.
Yeah, that's what they did with Dystopia. Was you had a starter fleet, you had a support fleet, and then you had an air fleet, and it's it works well. But they've always been good value anyway, so picking them up like that makes a lot of sense.
And going by sales, they're really popular. And a lot of people online are talking about Firestorm Armada. A lot of people at work are playing Firestorm Armada. I've yet to play a game.
Battlefleet Gothic starved people.
Yeah, people who are starved of Battlefleet Gothic, but then this is like a very detailed version of Battlefleet Gothic.
Yeah. It uses the same rule set. I did say to Andy how he felt about that kind of thing in our interview, and he's chucked to bits, to be honest.
Andy Chambers.
Yes.
So check out Firestorm Armada. I'm going to be posting up more articles about it as I paint up my stuff, buying new models. I'm getting my cruiser group unboxing ready, so that'll be up in a week.
I will get a fleet. When you can do some articles, aren't you?
Yes.
Detailing different fleets.
It'll be,
and I'll pick one.
Who are the Kurak Alliance? Who are the Xenian League? Who are the Mordors? And it'll look at each of the races in there. But yes, definitely. So I think Drop Zone Commander at the minute are doing what Spartan are just starting to do, which is to flesh out the background of their worlds more.
Yeah.
If you notice that Drop Zone Commander have just started releasing artwork.
Yes, it's like big worm thing, isn't it?
That's just one of the pictures. That's the giant worms that they use to go into the buildings to clear infantry. But there's a lot more artwork coming out. On their website now, I think we'll link to it, a short story with some of that artwork.
That's nice.
So they're now pushing to flesh out the world.
That's cool.
Because that is one of the things that's...
Well, it was, like Dave had a series of great miniatures, but obviously to make a background, you need more than one person.
And it's just showing off the new wave of releases. And again, lots of really...
he did like an advent calendar thing, didn't he? It was very nice stuff.
These are next up from that.
Yeah.
But they are really, really nice.
Another game that I will eventually try and get into.
That's the problem. There are...
Give me plastic PHR and I'm there.
Yeah.
That's all it's going to take.
The investment into plastic went into the 2+ starter set, which is a great box. You get everything in there.
Yep.
But again, it's very expensive. So it will come eventually, I'm sure, but not for a little while.
No, I've got plenty to keep me going, believe it or not.
Kickstarters.
Yeah, okay, we'll talk about yours first, because
I actually did a Kickstarter.
You got one?
On my own, without any...
Article, Kickstarter Corner, please.
Yeah, fine. Well, it hasn't arrived yet. It's not out yet.
That's all right. None of mine are live.
Okay. Basically, I like squats. I realise squats are gone and they're not coming back. And they were a bit limited. But then people who like squats tend to not really care.
No.
And what the Kickstarter did was metal beards from Titan Forge. And Titan Forge are a European company. They make very high quality resin fancy sculpts. Very high cost though.
Yeah.
I think the reason they've not really picked up very much is because they do cost an awful lot. So it's like £25 at least for a Chaos Inch Lord on a disc.
Oh, okay.
Very expensive. Yeah. But I saw the Kickstarter, and basically they're doing dwarfs fantasy, but with the bulk of the.
Is that the same company that was doing the screamers that aren't screamers?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Okay.
You'll put up some links. You'll show people. They're the ones who've got the ogre pirates.
Yeah. Okay. I know the ones. Yeah.
And they were doing characters which were dwarves, but their army were made up of clockwork soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, well, the Tyranids have wiped out the squats. There'll be some survivors, and if they're engineers, maybe they'll build a robot army to go and stomp on all the Tyranids.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I did an early bird special. It was 30 quid, and you get 15 of the troops and a character, which for Titan Forge is really good, but it's a good deal. Anyway, 30 quid for Games Workshop will get you 10 hammerers.
Yeah, yeah.
Not 15 plus a character.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they're not.
And they're nice models.
They're nice models. They're not small either. They're bulky.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're more. I think they're all going to be resin or Restic. Hopefully resin, not Restic.
Yeah, hopefully not Restic. I've had a couple of Kickstarters that turned out to be Restic, and I thought it'd be resin. I wasn't pleased.
30 quid. I thought it was good.
Yeah, definitely.
They've done a lot of different variations. So it seems to be the same basic design, but with different arms and faces.
Yeah.
To represent range and close combat. So I'll see how these ones go, and I might pick up some more.
No, that's cool.
But April, I'm expecting those to in April.
Okay, so they're not that far away then. Okay, cool. Right, well, I've done absolutely loads of Kickstarters. I got some money recently, and after paying off my credit card, I went to splash most of it on toys. So this is one I've done. Journey, Wrath of Demons.
Mm-hmm.
It's Legend of the Monkey King.
Yes.
So it's Japanese mythology, demons. Adrian Smith done some of the artwork.
So really, Smith did the artwork. Who's doing the? Have they actually got the sculpts?
They have.
Very nice artwork, I have to say.
Yeah, the artwork's like one of the things that definitely sold me on it. Hang on. Conclave of Har.
While we're waiting for that,
my laptop is just dying on its arse. It's terrible. But yeah. So I've done that one. There we go. I swear it's Firefox. It's never used up on Chrome. Chrome just used to eat on my processor.
So what's the story of this Kickstarter? What is it? A whole game?
Yeah. It's a whole board game.
Oh, so it's a board game.
It's a board game. It's not a battle game. It's a board game. It's something a bit different. I also got some expansions. Spider Demons. Yes. And what they've done was they've done the game in plastic, but you could buy a collector's resin edition, which worked out prohibitively expensive. It was very, very. I dropped about 160-ish quid into it anyway.
And what does that get you? £160.
A lot of stuff. It gets me two expansions, full board game, loads of extras and stuff. You know, I'm just trying to.
No, they're good.
So you see, that's some of the artwork.
You have to show people what we're looking at.
Yeah, this will all be linked in the thing. What I'm trying to find, you see like the Adrian Smith piece. You can see the Adrian Smith from a mile away. So this is like the way the attacks work and everything. This is actually new. I've not seen this. But yeah, here's models. They're the plastic ones.
Are they plastic?
They're plastic.
They are actually plastic.
They're the plastic, not the resin.
They're on Restic sprues.
Yeah. No, these are actually plastic. Well, so he says. They look very nice.
That's not injection moulded plastic, I don't think, because you've got no outer.
Yeah, outer frame.
Well, we'll see when you get them. You can tell us what they're actually like.
What did he say they were? Injection plastic minis.
No, well, he's going about it a different way. That's fine though, because he's getting.
They look nice. I mean, these are quite big kits as well.
I mean, they're resin quality sculpts.
Yeah. Well, they were originally made in resin. It's just sort of downscaled them slightly. These are one of the generic beasts that you get in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got absolutely loads of it turning up. So look for an article and review on that very soon. I've put a little bit of thing up on Kickstarter corner, but yeah, so I really like the look of it. And they're the resin ones.
Yeah, they've come off really well.
So yeah, they got that one. Another one that I did was Total Extinction. Me and Lee saw this. Just really, the concept artwork was just incredible.
So how much have you got for this?
A starter set.
Okay.
I kept it. I didn't know how much we play it.
Is this for 2 of the armies?
Yeah, you get a starter set with both armies in it.
It's the Elderly, Necrony one, and the humans.
No, it's the 2 and these guys. Yeah, it's these guys and the humans. Yeah, with a couple of extra bits for each and some nice scenery as well. Some of these sort of industrial pod type things. About 100 quid or so chucked into it. Really nice.
What was
really
that?
like the look of it. You'll see it in a second.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the concept work for this is amazing, and they seem to be well on board of doing it. Expecting it around about summertime ish, maybe. I've ordered it all. Just waiting for it to turn up. This.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
And I've got enough to do a 4x4 table.
Battle system.
You can't see it. I'll put some pictures up. It's like Weird's Terraclick stuff, but better from what I can tell.
And Weird's Terraclick stuff is getting hard to get hold of. I think they're discontinuing some of it.
Maybe they need to look at how they do it again, because separate clips.
I think there's a website. I think they don't make it themselves. They give it out to somebody who does the Terraclips range.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely certain, but I think that's what I've seen. And their stuff is just put into that guy's line, and it gets sent out to all the Malifaux distributors.
I love the fact it builds upwards, and we'll have so much fun on that. It's going to be awesome. Really, really looking forward to that. Yeah. That does look very, very cool. And then you've got the big one. The one I dropped the most money on. Yes.
Aliens vs Predator. These are looking really nice.
I will put up some more photos interspersed throughout the video, and maybe take a little video on my camera or something like that. We've got clear cloak predators.
Is that one that you're getting?
I'm getting loads of this.
You're basically getting one of everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Well, here's the list.
So, aliens, 1 queen, 1 crusher, 3 Praetorian
You don't know what a
guards.
crusher is, do you?
No.
It's like a giant charging alien. It was in the Alien Colonial Marine games.
Is it like the bull alien that you got?
No, imagine that. A lot bigger. 3 Praetorian guards.
10 stalkers, 1 Predalien.
Predalien, yeah.
Oh, Predalien, yeah. So Predator alien.
So basically what you've got the warriors.
You've got a whole army.
Yeah, I've got enough to. It's not just a board game. It's coming as a box board game. I've got 2 copies of that.
Well, with your battle system stuff, that will all.
That's what I'm thinking.
Together.
Yeah, and it's a war game as well. So I've got a copy of the rule book turning up. So then you've got the Marines, 20 Marines, 2 sergeants, power loader, 4 sentry guns, and 10
Basically,
tornadoes.
everything that you think of when you think of aliens and you think of Predator, you've got a model for it.
They've got the license, not for quite everything, but like 90% of it. They've got the license for. They're even doing a couple of the expanded. They couldn't get the Dark Horse comics, but because Sega released do you remember the 2-player side-scrolling shooter platformy type thing that had Dutch and the woman from Alien vs Predator comics in it? They've got those. They've done those casts. But then there you got the Predators. They've got 3 Berserkers, cloaked versions of them.
Lots of Predators.
About 20 Predators. Then you got the Youngbloods. The Youngbloods are the ones from the first Alien vs Predator movie. The ones that are really crap and get killed by aliens in no time.
I've blanked that from my memory.
Probably a good thing. So yeah, you got that one. I've also got Warboards turning up, and that is imminent. I've seen pictures of it.
So has it been dispatched yet?
Next couple of weeks. I should have it within the next 2 weeks, I hope, and then I can do an article. Warboards is basically like a game board, but
we could play one of our special games on there.
We can play one of our special games on there, indeed. I've got enough to do a 6x4 board, and I haven't actually got 6x4 to over
4x4 will do for now.
Well, yeah, he's got enough of that. And Reaper Bones. I got a few bits.
Yeah, because you weren't really.
The problem with Reaper Bones was I got the first one, loved it all, really good. The second one, they turned around and went, well, we've kind of dicked ourselves over on the shipping a little bit, so the shipping's going to be a lot more. And because I got hammered by customs charges on the first Reaper Bones, I've been quite a lot more cautious this time. And I think I've got one of the Kraken things, a couple of dragons, and a giant spider. And that's about it, really. So, yeah, that's the Kickstarters.
That's all in Kickstarter corner on the website.
Yes, it has its own page, which we'll be adding to. Lee's going to do an article for it for his stuff.
Apparently.
Any we see that we like the look of as well will all also go on here. And, yeah, so I spent a load of money on Kickstarter. I've got loads of stuff turning up. I'll never get it all painted. But, yeah, awesome stuff.
Well, at least you've got plenty of room for it.
Spiders might disagree. Another thing that I want to just really quickly talk about was the new HeroQuest anniversary, which they tried to launch on Kickstarter and then failed, and then tried to launch on another crowdsourcing thing and then failed, and then finally got it launched on. It's done now. It's successful. It's coming out.
Yeah, see, I don't know what's going on with this.
I don't know if it'll ever see light of day, if I'm being honest. I was tempted.
I spoke to the people who were doing it, and from the conversation I had, they had the rights to a Spanish language version, but they seem to be trying to produce more than a Spanish language version.
Yeah.
So,
well, they launched on Kickstarter.
I think some random company, because I think Hero Quest the game,
Moon something, Dream Moon or something, has the name.
Yeah, because Games Workshop doesn't own the rules for Hero Quest. If this whole thing has been resolved, then why haven't they just gone back to Kickstarter? Why doesn't whatever they call just say to Kickstarter, oh, it's okay now?
I don't know. I looked at it. All looks really nice. You get a lot of stuff for the price. The old Hero Quest was like what, 4 characters? This one they're talking about 20.
20. That's even more than you got with
20 different adventures. If you got the expanded edition with like the stretch goals, you end up with.
What about enemies?
Yeah, loads of enemies, all demons, giant spiders, orcs.
Because Game Zone,
gargoyles.
They do produce. Game Zone's main line are fantasy miniatures, which are essentially Warhammer fantasy miniatures.
Yes.
But as Game Zone's own thing, and they are metal mostly, although they have started moving into resin.
Did those Dark Elf Spearmen, if I remember correctly?
Dark Elf Spearmen.
That was a Dark Elf. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's some chaosy type stuff they do.
Yeah.
It's all very nice. But it's in metal, so are they doing them in plastic? Or
it's all plastic.
All plastic. So that might bode well for the future of Game Zone's main lines.
It's slightly stylised and it looks really nice. I think the scenery's resin. I think the characters are plastic and the scenery's resin, and it looked really good. And I was tempted, but if it makes it, it'll make it to retail, or I'll pick up a Kickstarter copy off somebody. But I was a little bit apprehensive about it. If I'm being honest, I don't know if it'll ever see light of day. It's interesting.
But we'll see.
Because Hero Quest does deserve an anniversary.
Yeah, because I know if you did Kickstarter and they didn't deliver, then you haven't really got a leg to stand on.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
And a lot of people who do Kickstarters fall down because they think, oh, £100,000, that'll be enough, won't it? And then they go to the actual manufacturers and they go to the printers.
Well, not even that. They just sometimes, like, I'll be very surprised if Alien vs Predator arrives on time. Warboards is already late because people.
I think shipping is the main issue.
Production. People think, okay, we've budgeted to make 20,000 of these,
and
then suddenly they get 50,000 people turn. Like, oh my god, we can't cope with this.
Yeah, and they think it will be. It will send each thing out. It'll cost like what, £4 per package, and then they find out that it's going to cost them like £20 to send it to somebody in.
Which is what happened with Reaper.
And what will happen is because Russia Post is horribly corrupt. The package will go missing.
Go missing regardless. And
they haven't bought insurance.
No,
because they've just budgeted for the bare bones.
So yeah, but I'd like to see that Hero Quest thing happen, if I'm being honest.
Well, I'd like to see it happen, especially if you've got it, because that saves me some money. But we'll wait and see.
Yes.
So, Star Trek Attack Wing.
Yes.
I got Star Trek Attack Wing for Alan for his birthday, and we played a game.
It's fun.
It is fun, although we were
cloaking's a bit broken.
Yeah, we thought that until you actually hit me, and I died.
It's a superb manoeuvre. Bring the Enterprise round the back of the Romulan Warbird. Have that. Don't care if you're cloaked. The way cloaking works in this game is basically you gain a load of attack die, defense dice. So you're rolling like 5 as defense dice.
And if you are clever, you take the upgrade cards that give you extra attack dice on the turn that you attack from cloaking.
Yes.
So you're not actually cloaked and shooting. You're uncloaking, shooting, and then until you recloak.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a shame the quality behind it isn't a little higher.
Even though it's WizKids, not Fancy Flight Games, it's pretty much the same game as
X-Wing.
X-Wing.
It is actually same templates, same dice,
same bases with the stuff on there.
It's the same game.
The only difference is the quality of the miniatures
and the components. I have to say, unfortunately, when you look at these tokens, of things very plain compared to the X-Wing ones. But yeah, if we're talking about the miniatures, let's dig it. I didn't get a Vorcha Micro Machine, unfortunately, but I've got a Romulan Warbird one up there.
They are terrible.
Shocking.
Very bad.
Absolutely shocking.
I mean,
I'll do some close-ups and stuff so you can see.
But let's just do the Enterprise.
Let's just take the Enterprise. So there is
the shapes are all wrong for starters.
The Attack Wing Enterprise D.
The paint is atrocious. The colours all over the place.
You know what? Looking at it, it's not even the right shape.
No, it isn't. Look, It will, because I showed Alan. Alan used to have loads of micro
I didn't
machines.
realise there's so much size difference, actually.
I mean, you could tell. I mean, this is a Micro Machines Enterprise that Alan recently bought that he used to own. This thing is exquisitely detailed.
10 times more detailed, and it's 2/3 the size.
Yeah. Now we'll get some comparison pictures up for you to have a look at. The shapes are just so different.
Just look at it, and even the panelling of a little detail there.
I know. Even with we've got another one here.
They're horrible.
Which is
actually, no. Let's see what. Turn it over. That'd be the killer. Just turn the ship over.
This is a different Enterprise.
Look at that.
Yeah. The underside is ugly. But even this one, you can separate it off, and it's the saucer.
And why can I do that with this?
No,
I mean,
it's just a plug. It's just a little plug and a hole, peg and hole system. And
I will say it now. These ships, and
how much do they cost individually?
These are £10 each,
at least. Now this,
this
costs
£10.
This costs £10. Look at the difference in that. Hold that up again. This is die-cast metal and plastic, and this costs the same as that. And this came with a magazine, so it probably costs as much to print the magazine.
So this comes with cards and that kind of stuff as well, which is what you're paying for. But
but this comes with a big, heavy base as well.
The models are just horrible. There's just no other way around it, unfortunately. I hadn't realised until I got them out and compared with those micro machines. I didn't realise the micro machines are actually about 2/3 the size.
Yeah, they are.
There's
cheap.
no excuse for it. They're absolutely shocking. I feel sorry for Star Trek fans who do go out and don't realise they've got alternatives, because what me and Lee are going to do, you're going to use the other things.
Yeah, I mean, the magazine collection, we both collect that, and that is going to be doing every Star Trek ship ever.
There you go, look at the Reliant.
I mean, the Reliant is gorgeous.
There's the micro machine version. It just scales up beautifully.
There is an attack wing bum, but I doubt it is as nice.
I've seen it, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It don't,
and the thing is...
basically, to take the attack wing, just look at a micro machine, scale it up a little bit, and take out all the detail.
Just look at the original Enterprise, which these ships aren't these attack wing ships aren't to scale
Hold
to each
that.
other.
I didn't realise which ones were actually. I couldn't remember which ones were in the box. So let's just get the other two.
The Vorcha.
Vorcha and the Warbird, isn't it? Romulan Warbird. There we go. So there's the Vorcha and there's the Romulan Warbird. Give me one. Let me take the other. There we go.
So as you're looking at these on your screen now.
Now I'll actually buck the trend a little bit here and say that the Warbird for attack wing, moulding problems aside, is actually probably slightly nicer.
Not the Vorcha though. Vorcha.
Ooh, no, that comes off badly.
No.
Jeez, that's really bad.
I mean that.
Word.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's basically like a Chinese knockoff.
Yeah, it is. It is that. I'll tell you what they look like. They look like the kind of things you get for like out of the, the gashapon machine type things like
that. No, those are quality compared to this rubbish. These look like
crackers.
Yeah, like got out of a cracker at Christmas.
So yeah, we have as an alternative these wonderfully detailed starship miniatures. Which
our board will have to be significantly bigger.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll mess about with scales and things
like that.
that.
Wayland Centre. There's plenty of room.
Cut out some templates. I'm looking forward to it because these are lovely models. I don't normally do part works, but these are really nice. That line is
so Star Trek Attack Wing is a good game. Shame about models.
Same rules as X-Wing, apart from a few very minor differences.
Thankfully, there are alternative models out there.
Yes.
So if you really want to get into it properly, you can make it look nice.
Yeah.
So next thing, War Machine are getting another faction.
Yep. After the convergence of
it's not a
Crisis.
Cyrus. It's not a full faction. It's a mercenary faction.
Yeah.
So they're an add-on. But it is the Cephalix. If you don't know the Cephalix are an alien. They're alien compared to humans. They are very different. They are dressed in tight-fitting leather lab wear. They have full enclosed head masks, and they tend to have mechanical armatures.
Homunculus!
They have incredibly strong psychic powers, which they use to dominate other creatures, and they enslave them, perform experiments, and augment their bodies.
There's definitely a bit of Clive Barker going on there.
They are allies of Crix.
Oh, they're allies of Crix?
They are allies of Crix, because the Cephalix are a unit in the Crix army.
They are, yeah, I knew I'd seen them before.
They're in your book.
Yeah, I knew I'd seen them before. Okay.
So
they're just expanding the range.
Yes, what they've done is expanding. So the Crix prey on the dead. But
yeah, I've seen that guy with the thing coming over his back, haven't I? Yeah.
The Cephalix prey on the living. They need living flesh because they are weak. They are their bodies are puny. They're not very strong, but their mind powers are incredible. So what they do is they enslave drudges and monstrosities, these giant, muscled, overpowered slaves, and they use them to protect themselves and to further their agenda.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out. They're different in that they have warjacks, but their warjacks are the monstrosities, and they are flesh. So although they are similar to warjacks, they've got a low defense, low armor, but they have the maximum amount of damage boxes.
Sort of like grotesques and racks type thing.
Yeah, I mean their damage grid is the same as the Khador Behemoth.
Oh really? So they take a lot of damage.
Six full boxes all the way down.
Yeah.
They don't have cortexes, so any spells or abilities that specifically mention affecting a cortex or a warjack will not affect them.
They look like just what I've been after for my cricks, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. So as a mercenary faction, you might be able to ally. I'm not sure what the rules for allying with.
Let's have a look.
But yeah, they look really nice. I was really impressed with their presentation because Barbecue Press did a live streaming cast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And they had like Games Workshop used to do. They had some special effects going. You had a cephalix. You didn't see the cephalix, but you saw his hands working on flesh.
Production values and things.
Yeah, they had some proper special effects of flesh, and they were drilling into people, pulling their faces back. It was really cool. So I think Hordes needs a couple of new bits now because we've had the Cyrus and Cephalix War Machine's been getting all the love.
Okay.
But we must be due a new version of the rules at some point.
Yeah, I would think Hordes version 2.0 is going to come out before that.
So yeah, plenty to look up there.
That's good.
And then we've got the last thing on our little agenda, which you should have seen by now, the announcements on the Conclave Facebook page.
Yes, they should be up by the time this video is out, because I've just realised I have got 4 separate videos to sync up with the audio.
Yes,
Warhammer
40,000 2nd edition.
Hang on, let me get to the page.
And Warhammer 40,000 2.5. It's not a new idea.
No, it is what we're calling the Warhammer 40,000 2nd edition revival project.
Yes. Like I say, it's not a new idea.
We've not talked about it for ages.
Ever since 3rd edition came around, people have been wanting to play 2nd edition. You can find lots of ad hoc rules and things online from people who have been running 2nd edition rehashes and revival projects. But if you look at them, they're all a bit over the place. They haven't really been supported after they've done what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And they've tried to do it as a big thing that everyone's going to get involved in. Number one, the reason we're doing this is for ourselves.
Yeah.
We're not worried what everyone else thinks, although we're happy to share it with you so you can have a bit of input, you can enjoy it yourself. Part 2, it's something that we've been going on about since 2nd edition finished, really.
Yeah, pretty much. There was such a seismic shift between 2nd edition and 3rd edition that I think ever since then we've just been... Because the thing is, it's not just that, it's just Games Workshop never went back.
No.
Games Workshop never went back and did Skirmish again.
Yeah, the game was a different game, and it was fully justified that 3rd edition happened.
Battle report on the Conclave site.
Yeah, and
link in the description.
Nothing wrong with 6th edition, really. I enjoy
for the game that 6th edition is, it's fine.
Yeah, but we want to play this game.
Yeah, we want to play the game where random stuff happens, where crazy events keep happening and throwing spanners in the works.
We want to play a game where the stat line
narrative,
of the model, the narrative, but the stat line of the model is how we'll judge how things will play out. It's not entirely random.
Yeah.
There is a reflection of the skills of the unit that you have are reflected in how they perform, rather than it simply be everyone needs AP3 guns, everyone needs a power weapon.
Yeah.
Space Marines. Because in 2nd edition, Space Marines, you didn't have massive Space Marine armies.
Nope.
You had to buy full squads of 10,
yeah.
and you'd have a couple, and you might be facing an Orc horde.
I thought you could have combat squads in second edition.
You could, but you had to buy the full 10.
Oh, right, then...
Yes.
Okay.
So
it's like 300 points a squad then?
316 for a basic tactical squad without upgrades, I believe. Off the top of my head.
Yeah. That sounds about right. I've got the codex sitting there, but I can't bother to get it.
So we've explained in the articles what we're going to do, so we're not going to rehash what we've said. But what you'll see over the next few months moving forward is a focus on our 2nd edition work. And it's not going to be 2nd edition as was. We are changing it because it does need work.
Playing 2nd edition the other day, we did realise there are some bits about it that's clunky, and there's no point in remaking 2nd edition.
No.
2nd edition's there, just play 2nd edition. Yeah. This is something else.
I mean, we're not going to reprint all the rules for 2nd edition on our website so you can download them. You are going to need to go and buy a copy of 2nd edition, and then what we will present to you is how we've changed it, and then it's up to you whether you want to use those. Of course, if you want to play second edition battles, by all means, let's all start playing second edition battles. I'm currently looking to host playing a game of second edition at Tabletop Day at Wayland Centre. So if you wanted to come down to Wayland Centre on the 5th of April, which is a Saturday, I will be there with a table and some models, all the card stock, all the books we need, and we can play a small 750 point game of second edition, or you and a couple of people can play and I will GM for you and make sure the rules are going. Possibly Alan, we're not sure.
Yeah, it depends on work, unfortunately. Tax year end, it's going to be tricky.
But we're going to be on one of the really nice scenic tables.
I used to run intro games of second edition at Games Workshop.
Yeah, but these are on our proper high quality modelled table, so there's lots of places to hide, lots of places to set up firing lines. It's going to be brilliant, and hopefully we'll have fully painted armies. But bring your own models down. If you are interested in coming, just give me a message and ask what sort of models that you'll need. We'll work out an army list for you, because there are things now that aren't in second edition.
Yes,
there will be. Not everything. We're not going to have Titans in 2.5. There's no point.
No, there's a few things that we need to bring screaming into this game that we're doing. There's a few races even that didn't exist back then. There were no Tau, there were no Dark Eldar. They need to be sort of brought into it. But yeah, we're not going to be doing Titans. Can you imagine how long a game of second edition would take if you used an Apocalypse army?
Yeah, it'd be weeks.
It'd be weeks. No, that's not an exaggeration. It would be weeks.
I mean, it takes a day to play
a decent sized game of second edition.
It takes a weekend to play.
Well, we did used to set it up, didn't we, overnight and just leave it and come back to the next day.
But with Apocalypse, if you wanted to play a full 6-turn game properly, you would need a whole weekend to do it. Yeah. You would need weeks to do that in second edition, as it stands at the moment. Even with our changes, we're not looking to have games that big.
No.
We are going to... 3,000 points would be far too big, really.
Oh, God, yeah. The most you could play in second edition was 2,000 points, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's second edition.
2,000 points is, that's a big game.
Yeah, but we're not looking to replace 6th edition in our gaming play. We're looking to add another option for playing. So,
yeah, all we're looking to do is, at the moment, 6th edition does not work very well as a skirmish game. It just doesn't. It glosses over a lot of what needs to happen. It doesn't have a personal sense to it like the game should. What we're hoping to do is to create something that's not as clunky as second edition, because it was quite clunky, but retains the best parts of second edition whilst modernising it and making it something that can be played by people now.
Yeah, there are a lot of good ideas in 6th edition which are perfectly usable in second edition.
Absolutely, and
a bit of modification.
Already detailed some of the things we should bring through.
Yeah. But by all means, if you want to get involved, drop us a line and we'll get you involved. But as I say, it's a vanity project for ourselves.
Absolutely, and something we've been just meaning to do for so long. And there is a page on the Conclave of Har website under more. We've got the second edition revival project, so go check it out. At the moment, it's just a couple of articles from me and Lee, just advising what we're going to do. But as time goes on, we'll be putting rules on there, battle reports, army lists. Yeah,
I mean, our first army list article is ready to go. It might already be up by the time you're listening to this, and there will be more coming, because another great thing about playing it now as adults, as compared to when we were playing it as teenagers, is we've got far more disposable income now, and we've got far more models than we had back then.
And far less time to paint them.
Yeah, so we never used a Land Raider in Game Second Edition because there were no Land Raiders.
No.
There were no Land Raiders. We can now.
I think my Space Marine army had 3 Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, but then you just bearded out on Dreadnoughts. The first army that we're putting up is a Space Wolf army is comprised entirely of models that we could not get hold of when we were teenagers, either because we couldn't afford it or the models just weren't there. So we are looking to do things differently from how we used to play, simply because we can, and because it will make it more interesting. And of course, scenery as well is another thing. It used to just be books, or the odd card building with a plastic neckerman.
No, I see what I remember making. Do you remember the polystyrene?
Yeah,
the metal models used to come in these polystyrene trays. And if you got those and put them together and then corroded them all with polystyrene cement, you can make ruins out of them by covering them with texture paint. Yeah. Old school. That's what we used to play on.
Yeah. It's like simple as hills. You can buy hills now.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was just some books under a tablecloth, or bits of polystyrene all over the place.
Or using neckerman to see me.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it's something we look forward to.
because you can go into extra detail of what a model can do, so maybe even pick a little couple of ideas from Infinity and have certain models that, particularly like tech priests, who can mess around with scenery and do certain things and start things going.
You can do this in second edition. You can have the narrative depth. When vehicles crash into each other, you get chain reactions and things like that. The narrative would write itself. Combat in second edition was so epic.
Yes, but it's far too clunky.
It was a duel. Yeah, but it's too clunky for mass combat.
Yeah.
But when your two characters go at it,
this is one of the main. We'll give you now as an example. Close combat. Close combat. Every single model fought individually, and the combat system was a world away from how it is now. It is too long and too complicated to do for an entire game.
Yep.
So our thoughts are that regular troopers will
fight
normally
6th edition.
6th edition style, which is fantasy style. Characters will, in challenges, fight 2nd edition style. Because your weapon skill, your equipment, your attacks, your position compared to the other guy all make a difference.
Yep.
They make an actual difference.
Being on high ground, who got the charge, extra weapons.
That game we played, which is the battle report on a system, my sorcerer versus your Carnifex.
Jammy.
In 6th edition, that probably would have been one-sided, but the sorcerer held his own through just what happened in the game for 2 whole turns.
Carnifex tripped over his own claws.
Yeah, because of what happened with the rolls and the circumstances of the fight. And those sort of things, we remember it. We're still talking about it now.
It's nice to have that. It's nice to not know that this versus this will always kill this.
Yeah, it brings uncertainty. It doesn't make things. There's a lot of reason I don't like playing in tournaments. Is one of the reasons is that you'll get someone who's got their Math Hammer army, and regardless of who they're fighting, what game they're fighting, they will do the same moves every time until the game's over. It's not fun.
Yeah,
They're just going through a rota.
Yeah, it's like a formula.
Yeah, whereas these games are going to be the epic cinematic things that Games Workshop are always saying that they want in their armies, and why they don't make balanced game systems. We're not going to say it's going to be balanced, but it will be fun.
It will be fun and cinematic and awesome.
From now on, that is our focus. We're not going to stop doing everything else, but before we do anything else, we'll get our 2nd edition stuff up on the site. Yes, so
last thing. Yes, we are going to the Forge World Open Day at Games Workshop headquarters.
First one for ages for me. Last time I went was when the Reaver Titan was released.
First one
I walked in the door, they had a Reaver Titan on the table, immediately made the beeline for the Reaver Titan, was looking at it for 30 seconds, turned around, and there was a massive line from the retail section back to the door. And I was like one of the first people in, so I won't make that mistake again. No. We buy stuff first.
Yes, you get to the retail first, and then you go look at pretty stuff. It's my first ever one, actually. I'm hoping to be able to snag some nice interviews, and might take a little dictaphone with me, so I can get a couple of recordings of people.
Games Workshop people don't want to be on dictaphone.
Yeah, but
by all means, make notes of any conversation.
Yeah, that's me scribbling loads of stuff down. If I just say, like, I'm not going to use the actual audio, but I just need it for my notes. I don't even know I'm recording. I'm not going to go like that and put it right in front of them and just put my phone.
Just see what they say. But yeah, it should be fun. There'll be lots will definitely be lots of things there. We're going to try and get tickets to the seminars.
Yep.
Because that's where all the new stuff comes.
Was it last time when they revealed Horus and things like that?
We've never had a reveal for Horus.
Yes, there was.
I've never seen a picture of Horus.
You've not seen a picture of Horus? There are pictures. You've not seen a cinema with little.
No, I've never seen pictures of Horus.
I swear there was a.
I've never seen. No, Lorgar. Last time was Lorgar. I think that was Games Day.
It's definitely Horus.
And before Lorgar, it was First Manus. So First Manus must have been revealed at last. Horus Heresy.
I swear they showed a shot of Horus. I might be completely wrong.
I've never seen it.
But yeah. I would have a look and show you, but you know how slow this goes.
My initial plans for Forge World Open Day are to get a Erebus and Corsair on for my newly started rebirth of my original word
yes, your word bearers,
which were the first 40k on the I've collected. So that's that. Although, depending on how much money I've got, I may end up getting some more stuff. I need some rhinos for my Death Guard. I need Eldar.
You want some Damocles rhinos and stuff, don't you?
Deimos.
Okay.
So yeah, there's plenty of stuff I need, but I've just got to be frugal because I still need to buy food while I'm there.
Yeah. Where do they actually hold it? Is it in the main hall?
Yeah,
or?
it's in the main hall.
It's in Warhammer World War. Okay.
Yeah, you just go into.
We can go up and have a look at the models, take some photos.
Oh yeah, the museum should be open, so we'll be able to have a look around there. Bugman's will be open. It should be a nice day, and hopefully we'll see lots of people there that we don't get to see.
And it'd be nice to have some kind of logo and T-shirt actually. So what I might say is, if anybody out there wants to come up with a logo for the Conclave, something quite funky but not too detailed, because we need to put it on a T-shirt, so we can wear it about around there. And also when I go to Salute, because I am planning to go to Salute.
Yeah, I will be wearing a branded T-shirt, but it'll be.
You'll be working, yeah. Then yeah, so if you can come up with something, that'd be awesome. We'll make sure there's something in it for you. I've got a couple of ideas, some bits we can do for this, models and such things. You know, not pre-owned stuff, brand new stuff. So yeah, if somebody can come up with a logo, that'd be pretty cool. Actually, we can get some T-shirts made up. Right, there you go, Horace. I told you. Ye of little faith.
While that's taking forever to load. Oh yeah. Oh well, so there's no reason why it shouldn't be available on the day then.
That's what I think Ben was alluding to.
Yeah, he wants one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does look nice.
I don't need any Primarchs until they make them demon Primarchs. I'm not doing a
I'd like. Well, I want to paint to me. The Ferrus Manus is such an amazing model. Did you see the Ferrus Manus that guy who does ultra insane detail did?
Yeah.
He put the circuit work.
It looked a little bit, because there were so many little highlights on it where he's done all the scroll work on the armor. It looked like it was tons of little lights on it. Yes, yeah, it does. That was my only thing with it, but it did look. What nice. You mean, like J.J. Abrams? It looked like he had LEDs, lens flare everywhere. No, it looked like he had LEDs implanted in his armour. Yeah, it did look like a little light up armour, didn't it? Yeah, he's doing a Gundam at the moment, which in the same style. Yes, because I've decided I like that green with purple accents. Yeah, that'll be my Dark Eldar colour scheme now. Oh, okay, cool. I don't know what. So I'm keeping an eye on his tutorials. They're incredible. This guy, I mean, he does on the website. Yeah, link on the we'll put a link on our website, and I'll also put a link in the video. He does these ultra detailed, ultra highlight. It looks like Aztec markings all over the model, but it's just covered in them, and it just looks like sculpted from detail. A distance, it's incredible. You can't tell the difference. You can't tell, but when you get up close to it, you can see all the work he's done. Haven't got any time, haven't got any patience, haven't got enough skill to do it ourselves. Not even close. But it's nice to see that it is possible. Oh look, it's that limited edition alternative Fulgrim that never got released. It's not limited edition. It's just well, it's very limited edition. There's only one of them. Yeah, well, it's not limited edition that you can buy. It's just that someone mentioned that they didn't like how Fulgrim was, but Fulgrim is that way because he is part of the Ferrus Manus. Yes. Yeah. But that is a much nicer. I prefer that model to the one that is available. I prefer that model. I would lose the banner, but other than that, I much prefer that model. He's got his other weapon. Yes, yeah. I don't think he's got the falchion, hasn't he? I don't think he needs the I don't think he needs the banner. I think he could have his arm down there, and that'd be pretty cool. But yeah. So anyway, yes, we're going to be at the Forge World Open Day. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully, we see some of you guys there. Although I have been asking around, a lot of people were waiting and seeing, and then they just sold out. They've sold out completely. Quite a few people missed out. I did say it was going to happen. See, if it wasn't so far away, I'd try to get down to the Black Library weekender as well. Quite fancy that. That one is full of people that I'd like to go and say hello to. Chat to a load of people, definitely get some interviews for that. But yes, anyway, I've got to edit all this. It's going to take forever, so we're going to go now. Fingers crossed it's all going to work. The video's going to match up. It's going to be awesome, and this will be the way we'll go from now on. And please let us know about any second edition and things you want to talk about. Have a look at the website. That is our focus now. There's updates on the website for it all. Join the Facebook group, and let us know what you think. Cool. Right. Bye. Awesome. See ya.